I don't know if you can hear me, but I made it across. It's really bad here, Verlaine.
What's up, everyone? It is Omiglio, and I have a very special video for you today. This game is a game that I consider to be one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. Now, I know a lot of you that are subscribed to my channel are kind of between retro and modern games because that's exactly what I like. I pretty much like everything that's ever been created by man. I just love video games, right? For multiple generations. This game is definitely more modern. It was released October 6, 2014. And I do remember playing it upon release, and I gotta be honest with you, when I first played it, I didn't think much of it. I was actually not a fan. I had been playing games like Outlast. When I first played it, I wasn't that impressed. However, years later, how does it actually hold up? Well, I'm happy to say that it holds up very well, and I dare to say it's probably gonna be remembered as one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. Sit back, guys. This is gonna be a very chill video. I'm just gonna be talking to you, just giving you my memories and telling you whether or not you should play this. And again, I try to make the strong case that this game is going to be one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. You know, the way I want to start this video is actually talking about, just addressing the elephant in the room. The fact that this game has brilliant graphics. When it came out, it kind of blew my mind. I couldn't believe how good the graphics looked in 2014. I'm happy to say that nearly 10 years later, we're almost there in October 2024, nearly 10 years later, the graphics hold up exceptionally well. I mean, if you told me that you thought this was a PS5 game, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. I mean, that is quite the compliment. The team at Creative Assembly can hold their head up high knowing that they created a gem, especially when it comes to graphics. Regarding the graphics, I have to mention this. The lighting in this game is second to none. It's honestly some of the best lighting and use of light that I've ever seen for any video game. It really creates this immersive environment, this atmosphere of just fear. Fear and the unknown. This game incorporates that as good or better than any game I've ever played. Closely associated with the graphics is the brilliant, and I mean brilliant, game design. The way they have carefully every single little detail in this game is so incredibly well done and so faithful to the original source material, which of course is Alien, the movie Alien that came out in 1979, directed by Ridley Scott. I mean, this game is absolutely incredible. The attention to detail, everything from like this chicken that you can see like its head go up and down, all the little details when you're inside the very first ship in the game, when you start off, when you get dressed and you're in the Torrens. I mean, it is like a homage to the Nostromo, where you start off in the movie with Sigourney Weaver, which is again the mother of the main protagonist in this game, which is Amanda Ripley. Man, this game is absolutely incredible when it comes to the attention to detail. The way the ladders are, it's so faithful to the movie. Very similar in many ways, but yeah, when it comes to the attention to detail and the level design, the environment, it's second to none. Creative Assembly really nailed it when it comes to this game. But yeah, as far as the story goes, what do I think of it? I think the story's pretty good. It's not going to be anything that's going to blow your socks off. But you know what? It's enough to keep you entertained, and it does a fantastic job of that. Basically, it's about Amanda Ripley, which is the daughter of Ripley, the original one that came out from the Alien movies. And you're trying to find her because, not that I'm the biggest Alien movie guy, but I think it was Alien 3, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, those of you that are big-time Alien fans. Alien 3, Ripley, the original Ripley, which is played by Sigourney Weaver, gave birth to a baby, but we never knew what happened to that baby. Well, this game ties everything together, and years later, you're searching for your mother, any kind of evidence you can get, because you want to know what happened to the original Ripley, what happened to your mom. It's actually quite a beautiful story of a mother and daughter relationship, and the daughter's will to find her mom, and similar to her mother's fate, you're gonna run into that infamous, disgusting, nasty alien, and this alien is gonna torment you. You start off with a couple of friends. You start off in the Torrens, which is this courier ship that's headed to the Sevastopol station because they believe to have this recording that your mother left behind that gives you a clue of her whereabouts. Guys, again, it's not going to be anything that's going to blow your socks off, but it's going to be plenty and some to keep you entertained. Now, I kind of dropped the hint when it comes to the story, and I am a big fan the way this game is designed. This game has a very interesting leveling up system, if you will. This game is a little bit different, and I'm a big fan of what they did here, because you basically level up by the progression of the game. The further you go into the story, the cooler, better gadgets that you get. You're gonna come across some very helpful stuff that's gonna help you on your journey, such as you're gonna find a flashlight that's gonna help you for dark areas of the game. In this game, trust me, you're gonna need it. There's parts that become very, very dark. You're gonna come across hijacking, like a monitor, a device that helps you hijack doors that you couldn't get through previously in the game. You're gonna come across, or probably the very first item you're gonna come across is this wrench that's very similar. It reminds me so much of BioShock, if you guys ever played that game. Very similar, first person point of view, you know, with that wrench, the infamous wrench. And so yeah, like this game, the further you get into it, you're gonna find cooler and cooler weapons. Eventually, my personal favorite is the flamethrower. Of course, that is an homage to the original Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver. She had a flamethrower that was actually held by Captain Dallas first. I don't want to ramble off too much, guys, but yes, I'm a big fan of the level progression here. Because why? Because basically, imagine that you were in Amanda Ripley's shoes, right? You entered this ship where you're gonna start off with no weapons. You're gonna start off, you know, you're gonna be neutral. Maybe you took a gun with you, but in this case, it went unarmed. You know, so it would make sense that it's gonna be loot based. You're gonna have to. It's survival horror. You have to piece things together to survive. This game, the way it incorporates everything together, is, my goodness, one of the greatest survival horror games of all time. But yes, the leveling up system through the progression based on the story, I'm a big fan, and I think it was brilliantly executed. Now we gotta address the elephant in the room. One of the things that made or broke this game back in the day was the insane difficulty, at least the perceived insane difficulty of the Alien. That's right, I think IGN gave this game like a 5.8 out of 10, and a lot of it was because I remember they were just really upset that the Alien was basically too smart. And is that true? Is there truth to that? 100%. This game is not for the faint of heart. This game is challenging, and the Alien will chase you, he will break you, and guess what? He will inevitably catch you. But that's the brilliance of the game, is that you never feel safe no matter where you are. You know, even when you're crafting stuff, items, you know, like med kits or a smoke bomb or whatever you're crafting, you never feel safe. There's always the sense of the alien could be right around the corner, sneaking up behind you. Also, in regards to the AI, it's not only the alien that's very intelligent. When you come across a group of people, you'll often hear them communicating with each other, talking about the strategy of how to go about killing you, which is pretty awesome. It makes the world feel alive.
See anything yet?
One of the things that I absolutely love about this game is the incorporation of that save system. It looks like a telephone booth where you put that card in there and it reads it. I love it because it really creates a sense of fear. You don't know if the alien is behind you, and I've died before just trying to save the game, you know, and it's very rewarding because trying to find one's own booth to the next, you know, might be relatively close, or it might feel like distance miles away because the alien is nearby. It creates this sense of a reward system, just being able to get to the next place, you know, and also a little bit of anxiety, but overall it's so rewarding knowing that when you get there, it's I guess the similarity would be like Resident Evil when you go into a save room. But unlike Resident Evil, this is not a space that you're safe. You're never safe. The alien could be right behind you. Oftentimes, you're gonna find yourself in a situation where you want to call a elevator to come and pick you up. But as you're waiting for the elevator, you don't know if there's bad guys behind you, and you don't know if you know who is right behind you. Yes, the alien. And that sense of anxiety, that sense of fear, that sense of stress is seriously incredible. I think those are the moments that really bring this game over the top and truly make it a legendary horror game. This game has one of the most important gameplay features that I absolutely love in this video game, and that is known as the rewire system. Depending on what you want to do, you can actually supply or take away certain power to different parts of the map. You know, so for example, if you want to gain access to a certain door that was closed before, you can do that. Usually it comes at a cost of something else though. You can also add air purifiers. You know, air purifiers, to be honest, I mostly use them to create like a smoke bomb so that I can remain a little bit more hidden. There's many things you could do. You can also turn on or turn off cameras, and obviously that can go to your advantage so you don't get caught. I mean, creating these diversions is excellent, especially since the alien gets the credit of being so difficult, these diversions actually go into your favor and create different strategies that you can have that just make the game come alive and makes it so much fun, and it makes it equally more terrifying, but it definitely evens out the playing field in your favor. Now, do you guys want me to give you a quick tip, based on my experience with the game, what I recommend? And I've also seen a few other YouTubers briefly, I've seen their strategies, and one thing I can tell you is this: do not hesitate too much. If you have to hide inside of a locker or inside of a cabinet, whatever you have, if you have to hide, you don't want to be there too long, because not only is it frightening and it just, man, those are like my most horrible moments of this game, and it adds a lot of intensity. Yes, it's fun, but I think that the more you hesitate, it actually goes against you. The moment you start stalling a lot and going into all these lockers and hiding like a coward, the alien's gonna find you. Another big tip that I wanted to give is not only to hide on, underneath tables and stuff like that, but you can also, when you're hiding behind a wall or something, you can also kind of peek over your left or your right hand side, depending on where you're standing, and that really helps out a lot. It might not seem like a big deal, but this game incorporates it so well. I would strongly advise using that to your advantage. So yeah, that about does it for this video, guys. In a summary, what do I think about this game? Well, let's look at it. The lighting is some of the best lighting I've ever seen for any game. Really creates an immersive environment and makes you feel like a part of this world that's very dark, very eerie, very scary. Also, the alien is relentless. You don't know if he's right behind you. You never feel safe in this game. And also with the AI, the humans, or whether you're fighting the robots, the working Joes, there's never a sense of it's a cakewalk. They have a very intelligent way of finding you, and I love that because it's a good challenge and it creates a sense of fear. Also, those moments where you're calling an elevator and you don't know if someone's behind you and you're trying to get that elevator to come as soon as possible, those are truly stressful moments and add so much. The use of light, the use of sound, these little beeps that you hear continually throughout the game just create, again, immersive, eerie, scary, and stressful environments that honestly send this game over the top. For all those reasons and many more, guys, I think this game was very much underappreciated upon release. I think this game, deserves more recognition even to this day going forward. I think people are coming around. I've seen a lot of YouTubers as of recent say really good things about this game, and I think rightfully so. I think this game deserves all of that. And honestly, I think this game is going to age like fine wine. As we continue to go forward, I think this game is going to get the proper praise and recognition that it rightfully deserves. In my opinion, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. It's my favorite horror game I've ever played in my life. It's that good. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for all your comments, likes, and subs. If you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that sub button, and I'll catch you absolutely on the next video.